Hello my friends, welcome to my channel where I make Affinity fun and easy to learn. In this video I'm going to show you how to create a talk show banner like this inside of Affinity Studio. Yes, inside Affinity Studio. If you have not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on post notification so that I don't miss any video I'll be dropping anytime from now. Without having to say much, let's get started. So the first thing I'll do, like every other video that I've done before, is click on File and click on New. Now I'm going to be using 1920 by 1080 pixels. As you can see, I've saved this format before. You can watch how I created this in my previous video. So 1920 by 1080, 300 pixels, and I'm going to turn on the artboard. So over here, I'm just going to turn this on and create documents like this. And immediately you do this, it's going to bring you into the interface of Affinity Studio, right? So I'm going to be working inside of the Vector Studio and Pixel Studio, but I'm going to start from here, right? So okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is fill this up with the color. So let me change this from a white. So I'm going to apply the color here, right? So I'm just going to flip the wheel like this and take it somewhere here, right? So this is the color I'm going to be using, make it slightly darker. So this is the color code, you can copy it. So I'm going to flip back to the Vector Studio. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to put this here. The next thing to start off this design properly is go over to text and I'm going to type out talk like this and change the color to white. I'm going to change the font also. Click on this, select favorites. Now under favorites, I'm going to select the font that I used, which is Akira Expanded. This is also part of the Smart Designer Premium asset, and you can download it online too. So favorites, and over here I have Akira Expanded. So I'm going to have it somewhere here while I expand the text. As you can see, I'm using a size 52. I'm just going to have this here to make a duplicate copy of this, and I'm going to use this to type show like this. All right, make it smaller like this, and then bring this down here. All right, and Ctrl J with this, duplicate this. I'm going to use this to type live, make it smaller, and can drag this outside while I do with the other ones. Click on character, and over here I'm just going to expand this. I think 700 is good. I'm just going to leave this here. Now coming back to okay, let me make this a little bit smaller like this. This is too small. Yeah, okay, somewhere here is good. So let me work on these guys here. Click on the rectangle tool, right? And I'm going to draw a rectangle like this that covers the talk, right? In the right position. I'm going to drag this down here like this. So it's beneath it. I'm just going to change the color so that you can see what I'm doing in real time. So this is the color of the rectangle. Position this well here. I'm going to duplicate this rectangle also, Ctrl J. And also you can do Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Anyone that works best for you actually works. All right, I'm going to have this here and I'm just going to make it fit the show also. Let me do that again. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, bring this downward. And I'm just going to make it fit like this. All right, so we have a talk show and duplicate this again. I have this, but I'm going to make this smaller. This is where the live is going to be. So I'm just going to have this size like this. And I'm just going to position it somewhere here. But before then, I'm going to select the two of them, the rectangle and the live, move it together. Select the live, hold down shift and select the rectangle. Ctrl G to group them, group the two of them, and drag this above all of them so it stays on top, right? And always remember that anything you have on top is the layers that you see very well on top. Never forget that. So make this lighter so that I can have a good contrast between the three shapes. Right, so moving on, I'm going to bring in my texts. Also, this is part of the resource file. The link to download the resource file is in the description of this video, so make sure you don't miss that. Also, the link to download the Smart Designer Album assets is in the description of this video. Make sure you don't miss that also. Okay, so let's move on with this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle. So to do that, I'm going to go over to the rectangle tool, select this, the first one here. Right, you can use this, but I'm going to choose to use this because it gives me control of what I want to do. So I'm going to draw a rectangle here like this. Draw a rectangle like this, and what I'm going to do is very, very simple. Come over to where you have the node corner tool. Select all of the nodes by highlighting all of them like this, and bring them down like this. Okay, easy peasy. Now position this well somewhere here. And I'm going to change the color to white. It's going to stay white. And also move this here too, like this. Select the two of them and use your arrow key to move them like this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the images that I used. So, okay, so over to my resource file. The first image I'm going to use is this image one. Drag and drop inside like this, and drag and drop somewhere here. It's fine. Just release, and yeah, that's it. So I'm just going to drag this down to fit the frame, and position this well before I clip it to the rectangle. So move this downward like this into the frame, and I'm just going to drag from the layers panel into this. So drag like this and drop on top of it. You can see that's the easiest way, and that's just the way to use the clipping mask inside of Affinity Studio, right? It's very easy and straightforward. So I'm going to do the same thing to the next image. I'm going to bring in the next image 2 like this. I'm going to maintain the same process. So drag inside here, drop here like this, make it smaller, just this way. Make sure the first person's head is no bigger than the second one, right? Doing everything proportionally. So I bring in the inside here, so just drag on top here and inside, and we're good to go. Okay, so to add some extra effects, click on this, go over to where you have adjustments, and click on HSL. Right? So this is HSL here. Click on it and it's going to open this dialog box, right? So what you need to do is I'm going to tone down. Now HSL means hue shift, saturation shift, and luminosity shift. So over here, I'm not going to be working on the luminosity. I'm not going to be working on the hue. I'm just going to tone down the saturation. So I'm just going to use the slider here to bring down the saturation, and that's all. And click out like this when you're done. That's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key since I don't want to repeat the same step. Hold down the Alt key and drag it on top of this image here. And it's going to take on the same effects that I created with the first one. You can see easy and straightforward, right? Alright guys, now that we have this, let's move on to the next. I'm going to switch to the Pixel Studio. Let's light this up. So to light this whole stuff up, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer up above the rectangles. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to use this that looks like a greenish yellow, right? And I'm going to drag this on top of this rectangle here, and I'm going to click twice, 1, 2, like this, right? So you can see the effect is done nicely. Right, next thing I'm going to do, select the other rectangle, this one here, and create new layer. I'm going to drag the layer inside of the rectangle. So pixel layer, and hold and drag inside the rectangle. We have it inside, so I can go on with my brush. I have lights here and I have lights here, easy peasy. So that's how I created this. Now to make it make sense, click on the top rectangle and make it darker so that I can have a good amount of contrast in the shape and the design. And of course, if you've done that, you're going to arrive at this, right? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going over to my Smart Designer Premium Assets. Now, the Smart Designer Premium Asset consists of PNG images, backgrounds, and so many other things to aid up your design process, right? And these things you can use for your day-to-day designing, and it makes you work faster and also smarter. That's where you get Smart Designer Premium Assets. So I'm just going to go over to my premium assets that I have here, and I'm going to go over. You can see this is the Smart Designer Assets. You can see all these folders. I'm going over to my background, green backgrounds, and I'm going to use this. So I'm just going to drag and drop inside here like this. And of course, it's going to be on top. We're going to move it to the bottom. But first and foremost, make it bigger in size. So you can expand from the edges like this. And of course, you want to position it well to cover the whole frame. Easy and straightforward. So I'm just going to drag it to cover the whole frame, and when you're done, you can click out. Right, you can see it on top. It's blocking every other thing that's beneath it, but that's not a problem that we cannot solve, right? So the next thing you want to do is take this downward. So click drag and take it down like this. Make sure you don't go to the next page. Make sure it's somewhere on top of this, and boom, this is where you need it to be. Now it's distorting so many things. Click on this and bring this down here at this exact point. You can take this aside to see what you're doing in real time. Bring this outside, and if you're used to Photoshop, this is like the blend if inside of Photoshop, right? So you can bring this down, and of course you can make this work like this. And when you're done, click on this to exit this. And this is how I created this flyer inside of Affinity Studio. If you've gained something from this video, if you learned something new, make sure you click the thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, and don't forget to turn on post notification. Till I come your way in the next video just up above. Ciao.